Your cat does not need to hiss, scratch, or make a scene to tell you something is wrong. Sometimes all it takes is one look, one blocked hallway, one glass pushed off the table at the exact worst moment. And once you see the pattern, it becomes hard to ignore. Your cat may have been competing for your attention this whole time. Cats seem calm, detached, almost too dignified to care, but that image is misleading. They notice when your routine changes. They notice new smells, new people, new pets, and even new habits. And when something starts taking your attention away from them, their reaction can come out in subtle, strange, and sometimes hilariously dramatic ways. So let's go through 8 signs your cat might be secretly jealous. 1. They start blocking your path. It usually begins with something so small you almost laugh at it. You stand up to answer the door and suddenly your cat is in front of you. You head to the kitchen and there they are again. You walk toward your laptop, your phone, your partner, even the bathroom, and somehow your cat appears like a furry roadblock with perfect timing. At first it looks cute, it feels accidental, but after the 3rd or 4th time, it starts to feel less random and more deliberate. This is one of the clearest ways cats interrupt your attention without making a huge spectacle of it. They do not always know how to ask politely for focus, but they are very good at inserting themselves between you and whatever has replaced them. Your cat is not just walking around the house. Your cat is inserting itself into the exact moment your attention shifts elsewhere. And the more often it happens around a specific person, object, or routine, the less it looks like coincidence. 2. They suddenly become too affectionate. Now here is where people get fooled. Most of us expect jealousy to look aggressive or cold, but sometimes it looks like the opposite. Your normally independent cat becomes weirdly clingy. They jump into your lap while you're on a work call. They rub against your legs every time you speak to someone else. They headbutt your hand when you are texting. They purr louder. They follow you more closely. They act less like a roommate and more like a campaign manager trying to win back your vote. They do not always become clingy all day. They become clingy exactly when your attention goes elsewhere. That timing is the clue. Your cat is not simply being loving. Your cat may be lobbying. 3. Attention by chaos. There is a reason this one feels personal, because sometimes it absolutely does. You're focused on something that is not your cat. Maybe you are cooking, maybe you're working, maybe you're laughing with a guest, and then from somewhere just behind you comes the sound. A sharp crash. A cup hits the floor. Cats do knock things over because they are curious, but when it happens repeatedly while you are distracted, the behavior starts to look less like curiosity and more like strategy. Your cat has learned something important. Quiet behavior gets ignored. Loud behavior gets results. And a jealous cat will often take that deal. 4. The silent stare. Every cat owner knows this look. You feel it before you see it. You're petting another animal, hugging someone, holding a baby, or even talking too warmly to a guest, and suddenly you sense a presence from across the room. There is your cat, perfectly still, staring at you like they are witnessing a betrayal in real time, because that stare can feel incredibly specific. Cats use eye contact differently than humans do. A fixed stare is not casual. It is not always friendly, and when it appears during a moment where your attention is clearly invested in someone else, what makes it powerful is the silence. No meowing, no movement, no drama on the surface, just judgment. It is the feline version of saying, "I see what you are doing and I will remember this." And often this look comes before the next stage, because once your cat decides the stare was not enough, the behavior tends to escalate. 5. Sudden distance. This is where jealousy stops looking funny and starts looking weirdly sophisticated. Some cats do not respond by becoming louder or more dramatic. They respond by withdrawing. They still eat, they still groom, they still nap in their favourite spot. They still act normal in every part of life except one: you. They stop greeting you at the door. They ignore your voice. They stay just out of reach. They act like you are an assistant who missed an important deadline. And because the rest of their behaviour remains normal, it does not feel like stress in the general sense. It feels selective. That is what makes it sting. A cat that feels emotionally replaced may reduce contact as a form of control. It is not a human grudge in the poetic sense, but it can function like a protest. And if that distance appears after a major change in your attention, it is worth paying attention to. 6. Acting around rivals. If the jealousy has a clear target, your cat may stop being subtle. This is especially obvious in homes with more than one pet, but it can also happen around certain people. They block doorways. They steal the other animal's spot. They push between you and your partner. They insert themselves into every interaction like a tiny union representative filing a complaint. Sometimes it looks mild, a stare, a tail flick, a slow, pointed walk between two people. Other times it becomes more direct, a swat, a chase, a refusal to share space they used to tolerate before. It is not always about pure aggression. Very often it is about social ranking and attention control. Your cat is not just reacting to the other presence. Your cat is reacting to what that presence changes, and that changes everything, because in your cat's mind, the problem may not be the dog, the guest, or the baby itself. The problem is that these things have started bending your behavior away from your cat, and your cat has noticed. 7. They pee somewhere they absolutely should not. This is the sign that gets people from amused to alarmed very quickly, because a jealous stare is one thing. A blocked hallway is annoying but manageable. But when your cat suddenly urinates on your bed, your clothes, or your shoes, the message gets impossible to ignore. Now obviously, health issues should always be ruled out first. That part matters. But if there is no medical problem, this behavior can be deeply emotional. Cats rely heavily on scent. Smell is memory, safety, identity, territory, and comfort all woven together. So when your cat feels insecure, threatened, or displaced, leaving scent in a powerful place can become a way of reasserting connection and control. 8. The real reason this happens. The strange thing about jealous behavior in cats is that it doesn't always come from dominance. Very often it comes from insecurity. Your cat builds a world out of patterns. Same rooms, same smells, same people, same rituals, same places where love usually happens. And once that pattern changes, even slightly, your cat notices the instability long before you do. That is why the behavior can seem so dramatic over something so small. A new hobby, a new relationship, a busier schedule, a different scent on your clothes. To you, it is just life moving forward. To your cat, it can feel like the emotional map of the house has changed without warning. And once you understand that, the behavior becomes easier to read.